We assemble in conscious awareness of our Creator here, now, and give praise and gratitude that we are here to encourage change and correction in systems that have gone afoul. We experience authorities over us to whom we choose not to comply, for they are not ones worthy of making some of these decisions nor furthering them. And so, with our appreciation of grace and accruing wisdom, we call in prayers for protection and guidance, for we know we are acting against inconceivably horrific evil and tremendous ignorance. We see others who comply with these authorities over them, over us, and see their compliance as acquiescence to a system that has strayed far from Creator's intended goodness and beauty. Ours is to learn, to educate others, to draw a line and hold it firm and steady against the increasing oppression we experience. Ours is to return to our inheritance of beauty, compassion, cooperation, generosity, and most of all, to love. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I want to talk about Article 1, Section 1 today. Article 1, Section 1. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. And they have at all times the right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. That's pretty clear to me, but to other people, it's not clear. So I'd like to go over that a little bit and bring forth a few things that might help us. You have to form a social compact before you can implement this. And you can abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. You have to be in the they before you can abolish. You can't individually stand up and say, I abolish the government. As a sovereign, you can go ahead and do that. But then you have to take the consequences. And as a sovereign, if you damage me by asserting your rights, I'm a sovereign also. So you don't get to do that. To do this, Article 1, Section 1, you have to implement a social compact. That means you have to have a group that agrees and forms a compact, which is a contract to do a specific thing. The Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly's specific thing is return to a constitutional Republican form of government as guaranteed in Article 4, Section 4 of the United States of America's Constitution circa 1859. So, if you want to abolish the government and go for something else, whatever that might be, you're not with us because we know where we're going and we know what we are going away from. We are going away from anything affiliated with Kate Brown at all. That's Tina and the whole bunch. We tried 89 of them that couldn't do their job. They could not keep their oath. And they sat in Congress assembled with us locked out. They broke their oath. And now 3 of them Dennis and Brian for 2 are running for office. They have no honor, but they continue. I'd charge both of them with treason if I could find somebody to go with me and the court wanted to hear it. But back to what we're doing. We're seeking to form the United States of America in original jurisdiction, which means before the fraud, before the act of going to battle between the several states. Between the time they had no Congress assembled, March 1861, and what we're doing here on Oregon now, there has not been a Republican form of government. It has been martial law. A lot of people trip to it was martial law. When I was first in the PAG, they said it was martial law, and I couldn't comprehend what they were talking about. How can it be martial law? Then eventually I figured it out. But you have to implement ex parte Milligan. You have to do the work. It's written down. They tell us how, but you have to do it. You can't just know it. So a lot of people know about ex parte Milligan and Lieber Code, but they don't do anything about it. When you tell them they need to do something about it, a great many of them don't want to take action. I find a great many of these people that claim to be patriots want to exchange the current de facto government, which is an illegal and illegitimate governance. They want to change the one we have for a different one. They don't want to go back and clean up all the mess that was left. Fraud vitiates all contracts, either partially or completely, and you cannot build anything upon evil. And they have been doing evil to us in one way or another since 1861. Just because you don't know you're doing evil doesn't mean you're not doing it. And then when you find out and you refuse to do something about it, or you pass the buck, it doesn't work. So one of the people in our assembly said to me, "What are we going to do about it?" And there's some really scary stuff going on. I look at the propaganda from the right, which is the direction I'm leaning anyhow, conservative, but I wasn't always conservative. And I talk among our assembly, and a bunch of us were not always conservative. But hell, I was a young man and I voted for Barry Goldwater, so who knows about me? I'm definitely suspect. What we have to do is work together, and that's impossible. So then how do we deal with that? With the social compact and a Republican form of government. We have to clean up the mess that's in front of us. It's not going back to do it. You have to clean up the mess in front of us. The mess in front of us that we're looking at, and everybody realizes, is that there is no honor in the people that are operating the oligarchy out of Salem. We just tried 36 sheriffs because they didn't have a proper oath. Now, how can that be? The Marine Corps, 1775, has an oath. Why can't the sheriffs take a proper oath? We've proven that Article 7 amended is bogus, and they're taking an unlawful oath to an unlawful constitution, which is fraud. We bring it to their attention since 2017, and they don't correct. They don't self-correct. So we tried them. Now we have to confront them. They don't even want to see us or talk to us on the telephone. But what is wrong with taking an oath to the people of your county to do their work and to affirm this duty and to uphold and defend and enforce the original jurisdiction? We could write truth there before the fraud. There's nothing in that should be negative to anybody. Then it goes on to, you're going to uphold and apply the lawful statutes, the lawful ones, not the ones that they pass that say they can come to your house and take your weapons because your next door neighbor said you were incompetent, and without any kind of trial, without any kind of proof, you're declared guilty of owning a gun and not agreeing with somebody, and they come and take your weapon. They break the Second Amendment. The only reason we have any amendments is because we have a Second Amendment. There's more licensed deer hunters than there is military. And the military was just given the authority to shoot Americans. The Department of Defense, aka U.S. Army, in my opinion, with the Lieber Code, has just declared open game on me and you. For whatever reason, you're driving in your automobile and the cherries and berries come on and you pull over and you park beside the road. Now, if you pull off the street and into a private property, public parking lot, for an example, your car won't be towed. If you stop on the highway, they can tow your car. Now, there's a lot of people that want to make the stand at this place. I disagree. If you can possibly afford to have a driver's license and proof of insurance and license plates, that's what to do. That will do you least harm. I know from experience. And those of us that choose to not license their car and abide by law and confront the Leos on the highway are taking their life in their own hands. You do not know who the cop is that walks up beside your car. And the first thing you have to remember is anything you say can and will be used against you. You have to understand that. If you open your mouth to answer anything or tell them anything, that will be used against you. So, if you want the least amount of hassle, you give them license and you deal with license plate, you give them insurance, you accept the ticket, whatever it is, and you leave without damage. Then you take care of the ticket by returning without entering into contract with them. You contact our court and we will provide a claim of cognizance so that their court will know this is between courts and not them and you. They deal with the all cap version of your name only, and they can't deal with the body, mind, spirit, flesh, blood, soul. You left the scene, you went on your way, you didn't get fined, all of that was taken care of, and you go unharmed. However, if you say something to a sociopath, psychopath cop that's having a bad day anyhow, it can escalate quickly. They break your window out, they beat you up, they handcuff you, they put you in jail, and there you are. And the worst thing that can happen to the cop is months down the road, they decide that he shouldn't have done that and they dismiss him. But the DPSST doesn't revoke his credentials and he can go someplace else and become a cop again. You haven't accomplished anything and you got yourself hurt and your property damaged. So the people that want to deal with these cops that stop you beside the road, they're not all bad. A lot of them are really good people. They're ignorant. If you call them ignorant, they get pissed. But if you're going to deal with them, you have to be totally schooled. And Brandon's right. And you have to be prepared. You have to have the material and know how to use it. So we have a card that we're been working on. Too much to do and not enough people to do it. This is a recruitment video. Find us and join us and take action. Work your ass off. We have to get this done. So, a card that you just hand the cop and it answers all three of his questions in the de jure, not in his de facto, and it explains to him what's going on, and you do not have to say a word. You can be polite, you can be cordial, you can be respectful, and all of those are good things. But you don't have to unlock the door and you don't have to get out of the car. And you can demand that his supervisor be present. And you can demand that they treat you with respect and honor your position. And you have your bona fides in your hand. They have to recognize the de jure jurisdiction if you're prepared, and it will go nicely for you, or it will still go bad. You will have accomplished nothing but get yourself hurt, property damaged, vehicle towed. But some of us are not going to accept the affront from the Leos. We're going to, and I'm in that, I used to be in that group. I quit driving. I don't drive anymore, so I don't have that problem. But we got to teach those that are going to take that route how to do it with the least chance of being hurt. None of that happens if you shape your car up to the best of your ability, either in de facto or de jure, one or the other. You can't be both. And you have to follow through 100% on both sides. If you're going to license plate your car, have proof of insurance, and have your driver's license all in order. Give it to them. Be nice, be polite. If you're not falling down drunk out of the car, they will probably let you go with the ticket, and we'll deal with that. If you're going to be de jure, we have to get this am I being detained? Am I free to go card in your possession. We're going to have to charge you for that. We cannot afford to be as benevolent as we'd like to be, but we have to be able to take care of our own. And part of that comes with being on the highway and defending yourself either in the de facto or the de jure, and you have to make your mind up which way you want to go. One way has a whole lot more obstacles and danger involved, and the other way doesn't have near as much angst. Here's a good word. Just thank you and sign it and go away. And then it's a paper process. The other way is a confrontational process, and you have to be ready for both. So, if you're going to do Article 1, Section 1, you have to join the social compact. And on Oregon, that's the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, or start your own. And we meet on Skype every Monday at 7 o'clock. You can find me easy enough if you get lost. We'll help you get on Skype and communicate with us. You need to have your LTA in order. We have to know who you are and where you stand. You can't be invisible and you can't be a phony. We've had some phonies. We don't need any more. We need good, strong people. We have 36 sheriffs to confront, and we have to confront them soon. They were all found guilty, and a verdict was passed. Now we have to go confront them. They either take a proper oath or they vacate the office, and we'll be a court of four talking to them about it. Not an old man waving a flag out on the street corner hollering about something. Taking care of business as a social compact, as an Article 3, Amendment 7, civilian common law court of record, with our bona fides in order. And to me, our bona fides mean what do they want? A government issued photo identification. That's what they require. And this is government issued photo identification. We are the legitimate de jure Article 1, Section 1 provisional government on Oregon. That is photo ID, government issued. And you have to be able to present itself. to yourself, to those that are confronting you on the highway. It takes 4 of us to present a court and to present ourselves to the sheriffs. We also have to talk to the court recorders. We have to talk to the county recorders. We have to talk to the court administrators. We have to correct these people or remove them from office. And we have to do it on every county, and we have to do it right now, which is impossible. So we have to work at it as fast as we can. Whatever county you're on, we have people that they're the only one in their county. So we'll have to send 3 people to them so that they can do the job on their county. We got counties that nobody lives there. What, there's only 1,500 people in Sherman County, I think. We don't have any members there. Sherman County is going to be way down on the list. But we have to do the major counties that are the most grievous right now. And we have to do it to the best of our ability. That means you can't be getting arrested or thrown in jail or anything like that. You have to be cool. You have to be de jure when you're talking with them, or de facto when you're talking with them, and ready to take the consequences of either action and know exactly how to do it. Brandon, I think, will run that show when he gets back. And I yield.
Article 1, Section 1 of Oregon's Constitution, Natural Rights Inherent in People. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness, and they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up.
And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.